Dear friends and students, I am Nakul. Welcome to Math Study Center. From thumbnail, you already know what I will discuss in this video. I have discussed every section very well. There are so many important examples, there are so many important exercises in this video which will be very helpful for all of you. So watch this video from first to last. If this video helps you even a little bit, give a thumbs up, leave your comment and share this video with all of your friends. Okay, let's start our discussion. Well, this is my second video of relation chapter, and in this video I will discuss about types of relation like reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation and equivalence relation. And there are some special kind of relation like identity relation, universal relation and empty relation. Okay, and some important examples related to reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation and equivalence relation. Okay, let's start. First, relation on a set. What is relation on a set? This. A set, let A be any non-empty set, then any subset of A cross A is called relation on set A. That means if R be a relation on set A, then R is obviously subset of A cross A. Okay, all the elements or all order pair of R will be from A cross A set. Okay, this is relation on a set. Now coming to first definition. Definition 1 is empty relation. A relation R in a set A is called empty relation if no elements of A is related to any element of A. That is, R is equal to phi set. Okay, then R will be called a empty relation. Here is an example of empty relation. Consider a set A. A is containing element 1, 2, 3 and definition of R is order pair A and B, or order pair A comma B will be set inside the set R if this condition A plus B is equal to 10. Now we can see this is A cross A, this is whole set of A cross A, then there is no order pair which satisfy A plus B is equal to 10. So the set R obviously will be a phi set. So this relation R is called an empty relation on set A. Okay, understood? Now another example, another definition, definition 2, universal relation. What is universal relation? A universal relation, a relation R in a set A is called universal relation if each element of A is related to every element of A. That means R is equal to A cross A. That means all the elements of A cross A will be inside the set R. Here is an example. This is our previous set A. A is equal to 1, 2, 3. Then definition of R will contain those elements, those order pair A comma B if A minus B mod greater than is equal to 0. Now you can easily verify every element, every order pair AB belongs to A cross A will be satisfy this condition A minus B greater than is equal to 0, right? So this R, set R is equal to A cross A. That means all elements of A cross A will be inside the set R. So this kind of relation is called universal relation. Okay, now coming to identity relation. A relation IA is subset of A cross A will be called identity relation on set A if all the elements A belongs to set this. Only these types of element A belongs to set IA. Then this kind of relation is called identity relation. For an example, if this A is this set containing 1 2 3, then identity relation on the set A is given by this 1 1 2 2 3 3 will lies in this set A. Okay, got you? Now definition 3. Definition 3, a relation is called reflexive relation, symmetric relation and transitive relation if they satisfy some special conditions. For reflexive relation, a relation R is a relation from A cross A, R is a relation on A cross A, then R will be reflexive if all A belongs to set A. For all A belongs to set A. This if R satisfies this condition, then R is called reflexive relation. Now for symmetric relation, if suppose any two elements A1 and A2 belong to set A, then also if A comma B, A1 comma A2 belongs to R, if this order pair A1 comma A2 belongs to R, that implies surely A2 comma A1 also belongs to R, then this relation R is called symmetric relation. Okay, now coming to transitive relation. For transitive relation, suppose any three elements A1, A2, A3 belongs to R, and we have A1 comma A2 belongs to R, also A2 comma A3 belongs to R. If these two conditions hold, A1 comma A2 belongs to R and A2 comma A3 belongs to R, this implies that A1 comma A3 also belongs to R, then this relation R is called equivalence relation on the set A. Okay, these three conditions, reflexive, symmetric and transitive, if these three conditions hold simultaneously, then this relation is called equivalence relation. Okay, this is definition 4. A relation on a non-empty set R is called equivalence relation if and only if it is number 1 reflexive, number 2 symmetric and number 3 transitive. You know, reflexive means all that kinds of A belongs to set R, and symmetric means if AB belongs to R, this implies BA also belongs to R, and transitive means if AB and BC belongs to R, this implies AC also belongs to R, for all ABC belongs to set A. Okay, so till now we know reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation, and if reflexive, symmetric, transitive holds simultaneously, then this relation is called identity relation. This relation is called equivalence relation. Okay, now there are some important examples. For first example, for example 1, let A be a set of all students of class 11 in a co-educational school, and RB relation have the same sex on A, then R is a obviously reflexive, symmetric and transitive. How? All the students in a co-educational school. Okay, so all elements A belongs to R, right? Now symmetric means if AB, since R contains those students have same sex, now have same sex. So if AB belongs to R, this implies BA obviously belongs to R, right? Because those R contains those students who have the same sex. Now, if for condition 3 for transitivity, if A, B, C take any three students belongs to set A, then suppose AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R. That means student A and student B have the same sex, and students B and students C have the same sex. I mean, student A and student B have same sex, and student B and student C has same sex. So we can conclude easily that student A and student C have the same sex easily. So R is an transitive relation. R is a transitive relation. Now, coming to another example, example number 2. This R be a set of all triangles drawn in a plane, and R be the relation is similar to what. So all the triangles which belongs to set R have the similar will be similar. So that kind of set, that kind of triangles will be inside the set R, right? For all A belongs to set A. Similarly, suppose so R is reflexive. For transitivity, suppose let A be any two triangles belongs to R. Suppose, so by definition of R, A triangle A and triangle B will be similar, right? So we can say easily B comma A is also a similar. B comma A also belongs to set R, because if A and B are similar, then we can say B and A are similar. Okay, so R is a symmetric. For transitivity, suppose any three sets, any three triangle ABC belongs to set A, and AB belongs to set relation R, and BC belongs to relation R. Suppose AB belongs to set relation R and BC belongs to relation R. So A and B are similar and B and C are similar. We can easily conclude that AC obviously similar to each other. That means AC belongs to R. So R is also transitive relation. Now, if this relation is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, so we can easily conclude that R is also equivalence. EQ/VA alien C. Equivalence relation, RELATION relation on A. Okay. Now coming to another example. This is also interesting example. This example number 3. Let A be the set of all straight lines drawn in a plane, and R be a relation that is perpendicular to, means all those straight lines, all those pair of straight lines L1 and L2 belongs to set R if L1 is perpendicular to L2. Okay, so we can show R is not reflexive. Why R is not reflexive? Because any line is not perpendicular to itself, right? So R is not reflexive relation. So L11 does not belongs to relation R. Okay, so R is not reflexive. So symmetricity obviously this condition holds symmetricity, because if we take any two lines L1 and L2, line 1 and line 2 belongs to R, that means line 1 is perpendicular. If this is line 1 and if this is line 2, then the angle between this line 1 and line 2 is pi by 2. So if L1 and L2 belongs to or relation R, then L2 comma L1 also belongs to relation R. Okay, so R is a symmetric relation. Now transitivity, this condition is not transitive, because why? If this is L1 and this straight line is L2 and this straight line is L3. So L1, if we take L1 comma L2, any two straight line belongs to R, and L2 comma L3 belongs to R. That means line 1 is perpendicular to line 2. This angle between this is pi by 2, and line 2 and line 3 is perpendicular. Line 2 means dash line, and line 3, this line is perpendicular. Okay, then it is obviously that line 1 and line 2, line 1 L1 and L2 is perpendicular, not perpendicular, they are parallel. So this never implies that L1 comma L3 belongs to R3, right? Okay, this never implies that L1 and L2 belongs to R3, because L1 and L2 will never lies in R3 because they are parallel. Okay, so this relation R is not a transitive relation. Okay, now coming to next example. This example is also similar type. Just have a look this example, and this you easily understand this example. Okay, now coming to equivalence relation. Some examples related to equivalence relation. This show that relation R on Z is an integer set, given by this definition of R is this, then is an equivalence relation. So obviously this will be an equivalence relation, right? For all A belongs to Z, A minus A, this easily divisible by 2, right? So our relation R is a reflexive relation. This is R is a reflexive relation. Now for any two element, suppose A1 A comma B belongs to R and A comma B belongs to R. Suppose let A comma B belongs to R, then by definition of R, this A minus B divisible by 2. This implies we can write B minus A minus of B minus A, this is also divisible by R, divisible by 2. So if A comma B belongs to R, this implies B comma A belongs to R, right? So R is a symmetric symmetric relation. Now coming to equivalence relation. Suppose A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R. That means A minus B divisible by 2 and B minus C divisible by 2. So we can easily say that A minus C divisible by 2, right? If we add them, this and this A minus B by 2 and B minus C by 2, if we add them, we can easily show that A minus C divisible by 2. So we can say AC belongs to R. So R is a transitive relation. R is a transitive relation. As R is a reflexive relation, symmetric relation, as well as transitive relation, we can say R is a equivalence relation. Okay, now coming to another example. This is a very important example. Solve this example. This is a very important example. You will have this question and this type of questions in many exams, not only your board exam but also in many competitive level exams. Okay, and now coming to next question. This is also similar type question. You have to show equivalency. Okay, solve this question. Just go through this question in this solution, and you will easily understand how this relation R is an equivalence relation. Okay, this is R is a reflexive relation, this is reflexive, R is symmetric, R is transitive. So R is an equivalence relation. Okay, now coming to next problem. Next example, this is also a similar type example. Just have a look, and and you will easily understand what kind of problems, how to solve this kind of problem. Okay, just practice this problem. Now coming to next example. This is also a very important example. Just follow these examples. Okay, now coming to another problem. This is also an important example. Solve this example. This is also an example, important examples. Solve this. Now coming to exercise. This is exercise of NCERT, and solve this portion. You will have a maybe two marks questions, and here solve this question. This is a very important, very easy question, and important and interesting to solve this question. And now in next chapter, solve question number 9, surely question number 8. Okay, now question number 6, you will have all questions from this exercise. Okay, now just solve this question number 13 and question number 14. Okay, you must solve these questions. From these exercises you will have approximately all questions in exams, in not only in your board exam but also in many competitive level examination. Okay, just obviously solve this question number 12 too. Okay, and question number 15 is also an important question. Okay, if you solve those questions by yourself, then you will be able to solve approximately all types of questions from many exams and in your board examination. Okay, so dear friends and students, if this video helps you even a little bit, give a thumbs up, leave your comment and share this video with all of your friends. Okay, until next video, stay well, stay safe, tata.